Your bank wants you to believe that saving money is smart, that keeping your cash somewhere safe is the responsible thing to do. But here's what they don't tell you. Every single day your money sits in that savings account, you're getting poorer. Not richer, poorer. Today I'm going to show you why the safe money trap is the biggest lie in personal finance, and why your savings account is designed to keep you exactly where you are. Let me paint a picture for you. You work hard. You do everything right. You put money aside every month like your parents told you to. You watch that number in your savings account grow, and you feel responsible. You feel like you're building something. But then why does it feel like you're not getting anywhere? Why do prices keep going up while your savings barely move? You look at houses, and they cost more than last year. You look at groceries, and they cost more than last month. You're saving, but you're not gaining ground. You're running on a treadmill, and 63% of Americans feel the exact same way. Working harder, saving more, but somehow falling behind. If that gap between your effort and your results already made you stop and think, hit subscribe and drop a like. Not because your bank wants you to stay uninformed, but because every week I break down the money traps that keep regular people stuck. I'm Peter, and this channel is about seeing what they don't want you to see. But here's what changes everything. The real enemy isn't your income. It's not your spending habits. It's not even your lack of discipline. It's a silent tax that nobody sends you a bill for, inflation, and it's not 2% like they tell you. When you factor in real costs, housing, food, healthcare, education, the actual inflation rate for regular people is closer to 7 to 10% per year. Your savings account pays you, what, 0.5%? Maybe 4% if you're lucky. You're not saving, you're losing every single year. Let me show you exactly how this works. There are 5 ways your safe money is actually making you poorer. Way number 1, the math doesn't lie. Let's say you have $10,000 in a savings account earning 4% interest. Sounds decent, right? At the end of the year, you have $10,400. But here's what happened while you were feeling good about that $400 gain. Inflation ran at 7% on the things you actually buy. That means your $10,000 now has the purchasing power of $9,300. You didn't gain $400. You lost $700 in real terms. You went backwards while looking like you went forward. That's the trap. The number goes up, the value goes down. Way number 2, the opportunity cost is massive. Every dollar sitting safe in your savings account is a dollar not working for you somewhere else. The stock market has averaged 10 to 12% returns over the last century. Real estate in growing areas has appreciated 7 to 10% per year plus rental income. Even basic index funds have crushed savings account returns for decades. When you keep $50,000 in savings for 10 years, you don't just lose to inflation. You lose the $200,000 or more that money could have become if it was actually working. That's not being safe. That's being expensive. Safety has a price, and most people have no idea how high it is. Way number 3, compound interest works both ways. Everyone talks about compound interest like it's magic, and it is. But here's what nobody mentions. Compound interest is working for your savings at 4%. And it's working against your purchasing power at 7%. When the negative compounds faster than the positive, you're not building wealth. You're building an illusion. After 20 years of diligently saving $10,000 per year in a savings account, you might have $250,000. Sounds great until you realize that money only buys what $120,000 would buy today. You saved for 20 years and ended up with less than half the purchasing power you put in. The compound effect didn't help you. It crushed you slowly, silently, mathematically. Way number 4. The number on the screen is a lie. This is the psychological trap. You log into your bank account. You see $50,000. It feels real. It feels solid. But that number is not what you have. What you have is what that number can buy. And what it can buy shrinks every single month. It's like having a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You keep adding water, feeling productive, not realizing you're losing more than you're adding. The banks know this. They show you the number because the number makes you feel safe. They don't show you the purchasing power because that would make you move your money somewhere it could actually grow. They need your deposits. Your cheap deposits fund their expensive loans. You get 4%. They charge borrowers 8, 12, 20%. Your safe money is their profit machine. Way number 5. You're paying a tax with no name. The government takes income tax. You see it, you know it. It makes you angry, but at least it's visible. Inflation is a tax with no name, no bill, no line item. It takes from you silently, and you thank your savings account for protecting you while it happens. This is the greatest financial trick ever pulled. Convince people that standing still is moving forward. That preservation is the same as growth. It's not. In an inflationary world, standing still is moving backward. There is no neutral. You're either growing faster than inflation or you're shrinking. There's no third option. Let me tell you about the shift that happens when you understand this. Before you know about the safe money trap, you think you're being responsible. You feel pride when your savings account grows. You feel anxiety about investing because it seems risky. You avoid stocks because you might lose money. You keep cash because it feels solid. You trust the system because the system says you're doing great. After you understand the trap, everything changes. You realize that savings accounts are for short-term needs, not long-term wealth. You see that the real risk isn't volatility, it's the guaranteed loss of purchasing power. You understand that feeling safe and being safe are two completely different things. You stop measuring wealth by the number in your account and start measuring it by what that number can actually do. You move from defense to offense, from preservation to growth, from running on a treadmill to actually moving forward. The anxiety doesn't disappear. It just shifts to the right place. You stop fearing the market and start fearing stagnation. Let me give you a real example. Imagine two people, both 30 years old, both starting with $20,000. Person A puts it in a high-yield savings account at 4% and adds $300 per month for 30 years. Person B puts the same amount in a diversified index fund averaging 8% and adds the same $300 monthly. At 60 years old, person A has around $310,000 in the bank. Feels good, looks solid, but adjusted for inflation, that money buys what $140,000 would buy today. Person B has over $750,000, even adjusted for inflation. That's over $340,000 in today's purchasing power. Same starting point, same monthly contribution, same 30 years. One person can retire comfortably, the other can't. The only difference was where the money sat. Person A felt safe the whole time. Person B actually was safe. So how do you escape the safe money trap? I know this might feel overwhelming. You've been told your whole life that saving is good and risk is bad. But let me break this down into simple steps. Step 1. Redefine what risk actually means. Risk isn't seeing your portfolio drop 10%. Risk is guaranteed losing 4% of your purchasing power every single year for the rest of your life. Once you understand this, the game changes. Volatility is temporary. Inflation is permanent. Step 2. Keep only what you need liquid. 3 to 6 months of expenses and savings. That's it. That's your emergency fund. That's your sleep at night money. Everything else should be working. If you have 2 years of expenses sitting in savings, you don't have a safety net. You have a wealth leak. Step 3. Start simple with index funds. You don't need to pick stocks. You don't need to time the market. A basic total market index fund gives you ownership in thousands of companies with one click. Set up automatic investments. Treat it like a bill. Pay yourself first, but pay yourself into something that grows. Step 4. Think in decades, not days. The market will drop. Your portfolio will lose value temporarily. This is normal. This is expected. Zoom out. Every 10-year period in stock market history has been positive. Every single one. Short-term fear creates long-term regret. Step 5. Increase your financial education. The reason banks can trap you is because you don't know the rules of the game. Read one book on investing, watch educational content, understand where your money actually goes. Knowledge is the ultimate protection against financial traps. The system profits from your confusion. Every dollar you keep in savings is a dollar the bank uses to make money for themselves. Every year you stay in the trap is a year your real wealth declines. But every dollar you move into real assets is a dollar working for you instead of against you. You don't have to be a financial genius. You just have to stop playing a game designed for you to lose. The safe money trap only works if you believe safety means standing still. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening with your money, subscribe and hit the bell. Every week, I break down the financial traps that keep people stuck and show you how to escape them. Drop a comment. What percentage of your money is sitting in savings right now? I want to know where you're starting from. I'm Peter. Stop saving your way to poverty.